Carl and Brethren here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial, and it's reaction time. Taking a look at the Brrraains single, Pillar of Shame. So I got to give you a quick rundown of this. I hadn't really heard of this band, even though they're from South London. They're a death metal hardcore mix. I hadn't heard of them, and I saw them support Creature at the New Cross Inn a month or two ago as the time of recording, and I was mesmerized by this band. And this happened at roughly the same time as I came to realize that Church Road Records, their label, is fast becoming one of my most dependable records companies for smaller, localized UK bands that are just absolutely fucking killing it. I see Church Road Records, I see a stamp of believability, authenticity, a stamp of quality with that. I get excited now when I see a band as Church Road Records are releasing an album. I'm like, okay, right. And it all leans towards the heavier side of music and stuff like that. But Burner blew me away at the Creature show. Really enough so that I immediately was like, I'm going to keep an eye on these guys. I'm going to find out what they're doing. And it turns out, happily, that I didn't have to wait too long as well, because they have a new album out on June 23rd as well. It all returns to nothing. So that is going to be extremely exciting times. Can't wait. And we've had a few singles from it as well. We're going to react to one now, which is Pillar of Shame, as I said already. Brrraains, are you aware? Do you know anything?
No, I'm in the position you were before seeing them. To be honest with you, I don't know who they are. Never heard of them. Local band, like you said, so well, local enough. So. But, you know, it's London at the end of the day. There's 10,000 fucking local bands. So, you know, there's no point in pretending just because we're in London, we might have come across them.
That is the thing, isn't it? Yep, that is the simple thing of it. We are in London. We are southeast, Kent, outskirts of Kent for me, further Kent for you. South London, North London, West London, East London. There's bands everywhere. You know,
I like the idea.
Best.
You know, I always do. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's myself or other people. I love the idea that you're at a show watching another band, and then a band you don't know catches your eye enough that you go, I've got to check these guys out more. That I love, and that excites me for listening to it.
Well, if this was a battle reaction, I would be thinking this is a win. I've chosen this as a reaction for us to do because I want you to hear Burner and get an idea of what they're like. But I also know this is right up your fucking street. So there is that. And it's fairly concise, this track. It's 3:23, so we ain't going to be here too long for it. Let's do this then. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to redo that because I hit play at 1 for some reason. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I didn't realize because I was playing that. I've got it up quite loud, so I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hit play at 1 for some reason. Yeah. All right, let's do this again. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Boom.
Oh, don't end.
You know what? Hilariously, right? I thought no video, right? So I'm gonna follow along. The lyrics are in the descriptions. It's like I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna try and sing them along on my head, right? That first section, and I guess that's why they've done it as one whole block. It is fucking impossible. I was out of time all over the place. Weirdly, when we get to suppress, silence, conceal, exalt, it all kind of normalizes and I'm able to follow along. And then we switched up to this sort of some more familiar style. But that first section is a blistering mess of, wait, why is he pausing there? Isn't that the same line? Like, insane. I'll take it like that then, yeah?
I did. Yeah, I mean, I wrote more for that. Like literally a whole page. So I didn't follow along with the lyrics, only because it's only what 3 and a bit minutes long, and I ended up writing loads. There's loads I love about it. Loads. I have one sort of semi-negative, but like just one, and it's only a minor.
That's cool.
And that's just right. So like, let's start from the beginning. Right, that opening section is fucking amazing. Like it almost borders on blackened death or black metal at points.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's properly vicious and like right aggressive, high tempo. Drums are fucking killer. That guitar just makes the track. That it just comes up every now and then. Just little tiny window to just pull you out of like the chaos and just give you a second and then go back at you again, which I think is a really clever way of doing it. Much cleverer than the section that follows next, which is the bit that I guess is a little bit more hardcorey, and I still enjoyed it. I did, but the only thing I just wrote down was just stopping. Stop. I'm in the flow here. Fucking hardcore thing of like, oh, we'll play a little bit, then we'll stop, then we'll play a bit more. And it's like, fuck's sake, I'm in a right flow with this track. And
I love that.
It's not like a fucking huge error, like or problem. Don't get me wrong, because it kind of quite quickly gets going again, and very happy to see the mix of tones as well, because I think that also helps, because I still would have enjoyed it. I think if it was the initial vocal tone all the way through, I don't think I would have had a problem, but it was just nice to have that other deeper vocal come in then and just break things up a little bit, really. So I was loving it, really, really enjoying it. Just didn't want them to keep stopping. I was like, just fuck's sake, fucking hardcore, Jesus Christ. Because they're like, we can only play for 2 minutes, but we're going to take 15-second breaks every few seconds, which is obviously an exaggeration.
Of course.
Then the last kind of, I don't know what it was, like maybe a minute, because I wasn't really tracking the time because I was too busy writing my essay. But it just like transformed from being a song that I absolutely was loving to somehow more than that. And it was just the way that it ended, right? Like, that little guitar came back in. Then there's some more layered guitars that join it, and it's still heavy as fuck. It's still intense and aggressive, and it's not like it's holding back or anything like that, but it just actually kind of like brought a little bit, I don't know, like a bit of like almost groove or like rhythm to the proceedings, just a touch in amongst the blasting drums and the heavy vocals and the guitars in that last minute. Like as much as I love the track up to there are those elevation moments you get in your songs every now and then that you're like, I'm really liking this song, but where's my moment that turns this song from like really, really cool to special, and for me it was weirdly that last minute where I was just like, I was sold already anyway, man. I was well sold. I was like, yeah, I'm having this one. I'll write down the name, make sure I get this one, find out a bit more about these guys. But then that last minute happened and I was just like, shit, man, I'm going to get them tattooed on my face tomorrow or something like that,
What could I possibly add to that? I was clear from the thing that I was a big fan of this. It's always kind of pleasing for me because sometimes I feel like, oh God, all I'm going to do is Sean Brennan is some of my drony, weird, eclectic tastes. And it's like, no, there's times when I just still really like heavy music. And this is a good example of it. And it was, as you say, an accidental discovery. You can check out a support band, you end up loving them. And if you aren't aware, and I do want to put this out there because, well, for starters, I really think this having 290 views on YouTube have been out for the 5th of May is disgraceful. Some people seriously knock that number up, check the video out. But on the 1st of July, Berta will be having an album release show for It All Returns to Nothing. This is taking place at the Black Heart in Camden, so our city in London. And they are supported by, and this is why this gig is one you need to be to, Brrraaains are headlining with this album, but it's supported by Mastiff, Negative Frame, and Acid Throne. And if you know anything, like, well, I'm not too familiar with Negative Frame. Dan assures me they're a banging band. We are obviously extremely familiar with Mastiff, enough so that I'm like, wait, Mastiff are supporting? Do you know what I mean? Like that? And then Acid Throne are really cool and up and coming as well. That is £12 advance tickets. £12, people. My God. But if you're not from London, I have checked as well. At the end of August, beginning of November, Bristol, Leicester, Southampton, Birmingham, Nottingham, with Grief Ritual, another excellent UK band. I mean, Jesus Christ, yeah. But for now, I mean, this album, just like, that's going to come out. It's all the very exciting times. It's all very exciting times. Woohoo. Yay. What do you reckon? Are we getting excited for no reason? Do you kind of like, nah, heard all that before, you're not that interested, or you do love as much as we do? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?